Hello, good morning to all. This is my first video, and today I is going to giving some example and briefly about data types. As I given the heading data types, simply there are many questions arise in mind. What is mean by data types? Simple, in our textbook we are studying in our academics, types of data is called data types simply, but I give some different example that is giving to you improve your Java skill and to overcome the problem of data types, because in many exam and interviews they are giving many questions of data type. People are failure to interview to crack because the data type chapter they are not strong. So in this chapter I want to cover the first thing, need of data types, why you need data types. Second thing I explain about is definitions, what is the definition of data type. Third one is types, how many types data type divided into, and fourth one is why data types. First thing, this fourth thing I want to cover first, then I will explain the next part of the data types. First things, need, why we need data types. First thing is data types to store temporarily value in our computer program, so that we use the data types. Simple, the data types is the value to store temporary value. So the temporary value to store data temporarily we use data types. That is the need. Basically you can note down it, used to store data temporarily. This is the need of the data type, to store data temporarily. Okay, fine. So that we need the data type. Second one, what is the definition? The most important thing is definition. What is the definition of data type? Basically we have many more definition in textbook, but I refer one definition which is easier to remember to you. That is size of memory location, size of memory locations, and a range of data that can be accommodated. Okay, accommodations inside that location. That means data type is something give us information about size of memory locations and range of data can accommodations inside that locations. The simple definitions, it is easier to remember that definition of data types. Okay, I think you are read it and remember it. Okay, fine. Third thing I want to explain, the types. The most important thing is the types. The data type divided into how many types is the basic questions in the interview. So types, basically data type divided into two types. First is primitive data type, primitive data types, and second one is reference data types. Okay, the data type divided into two types. First one is primitive data types and second one reference data type. Basically primitive data types are divided into 8 parts. It is 8 and the reference data type is 4. Okay, fine. You can note down it. The primitive data type is 8 and the reference data type is 4. Okay, fine. Then next we are giving the what is primitive data type, what is reference data type. Before that, giving a definitions, I want to give the hierarchical diagram of data types. That is the hierarchical diagram. Data types basically divided into two types. One is primitive data types. Okay, second one is reference data type. It is the divide into two types. Data type divided into primitive data types, short type PDT and RTT. PDT means primitive data types and RDT means reference data type. It is easy to remember that the short form. And the primitive data types divided into two types. First one is numeric data type, and second is non-numeric. Primitive data type divided into two types, numeric data type and non-numeric. And the numeric data type is divided into integer and also floating points. Okay. First of all, data type divided into two types, primitive data type, reference data type. Then again, primitive data type divided into two types. One is numeric data type and second one is non-numeric data type. Then numeric divided into two types, integer, floating point. As you know that integer having four types, that are byte, short, int, long. Okay, integer divided into four categories. One is byte, short, int, long. The byte range is value is 1 and short is 2 and integer int is 4 and long is 8. Basically it is called the value, and also we are calling the size of that means byte is contain 1 byte, short is size is 2 byte, integer is 4 byte and long is 8 byte. It is four types. Integer is different. Remember that integer is four types: byte, short, int, long. Byte is 1 byte, short is 2 byte, int is 4 byte, long is 8 byte. Okay, then let's go to next step is floating point. Basically we are studying in the academics floating point divided into two types. One is float, another is double. One is float, second one double. Float type is 4 byte and double is size 8 byte. Again I repeated, floating point divided in two types. One is float, one is second one double. Float size is 4 byte and double size is 8 byte. Okay, data type I want to explain again. The data type divided into two types: primitive data type and reference data type. Primitive data type divided into two types: numeric, non-numeric. Then numeric divided into two types, also divided two types. One is integer, the second one is floating point. And the integer is basically divided into four types: byte, short, int, long. And byte is size is 1 byte, short is 2 byte, integer is 4 byte, and long is 8 byte. Okay, and the floating point basically divided in two types: float, double. Float size is 4 byte and double size is 8 byte. Okay, then I go to next, reference data type. Reference data type divided into four types. One is array, second one is class, third one is interface, fourth is enum. Now reference data type divided into four types: array, class, interface, enum. It is the common that we are recorded 4. That means primitive data types is 8 type, a reference is 2 type. Okay, then after seeing the hierarchical diagram, there is many more questions arrive in your mind. What is primitive data type? First question is arrive in your mind. What is primitive data type? Simple. Primitive data type is used to store single value. It is used to store single value at a time. It is used to store single value. I repeat it again. To store single value. To store single value is used to store single value is called primitive data type. It is called primitive data type. Second one, I will tell what is reference data type. Used to store multiple values using primitive data type. That means reference data type is one thing we are using to store multiple data type of values of primitive data type. Primitive data types of value you can store in the reference data type, that is multiple value. We can give multiple value to store. Simple you can write used to collect multiple values using single primitive types. Okay, this is the basic thing, hierarchical diagram and many more things. Okay, then third thing third point we cover. Then fourth point is that the question in your mind, why do you have 8 primitive data types in Java? And second question also strike your mind, why you have 4 reference data types? Why you have 4 reference data types? Question is, why 8 primitive data type in Java? Second question is, why we have from reference data type? There is basically 2 questions whenever reading the data types. There is 2 questions in arrive in my mind. In Java, why 8 data types, primitive data types, and why 4 reference data type? So that the first question is the answer of the depend upon the hierarchical diagram, and it is the main thing. The main thing is that based upon the type range of data, based upon the type range of data, primitive data type divided into 8 types. That means you have to study the type and base. These two things is important to create Java 8 primitive data type. Okay, if you have someone asks why Java has 8 primitive data type, your answer must be based on the type range of data, primitive data types are divided into 8 types. Okay, fine. Second question, why do you have why we have 4 reference data types? Answer must be to collect. We know that to collect